Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm glad you could join me today. It's a nice day here in December. It's December 10th, and we've had a fairly warm winter so far, so it's kind of been nice. But today I just wanted to talk to you about how I constructed my outdoor prep table or workstation. I have one here and one over there. So I'll see you in a little while. So we're over here at my outdoor workstation, and you know, this workbench here is basically 34 inches by 95 inches. And so what's nice about that is you can these top boards here on the deck, you can buy them 8 feet long and basically just keep your table 8 feet. I cut an inch off of each end just to square them up nice. But this table here, I use 2x4s for the legs. You could use 4x4s if you wanted to, but I use 2x4s here. They were plenty strong, and what I did is I used a 2x6 rail here for the table, so it gives it plenty of support. And then I added 2x4s across it every 16 inches in order to give support for the deck boards when they go this way. And so it's also 36 inches off the ground, which is the countertop height inside your kitchen. So it's a nice, comfortable height to work with. And then I gave it a nice stain to help keep it from rotting. Now I built this out of treated lumber, and you know, the treated lumber today doesn't have the arsenic in it like it did 10 years ago. So I gave it 2 coats of brown outdoor stain just to make it look nice and all too. And I also used deck screws here, like a 2-inch deck screw that would screw into your 2x4 going this way. And it's just really been a great table to have. It's, you know, it's nice and sturdy. You could actually sit up on it, and it really doesn't move anywhere. And so it's a, you know, for $50 to $75, you could construct a nice table like this. And I would always encourage you to build it a little bit bigger. You know, we try to think smart, and you know, take some time to research out the things that you want to build or construct. You know, you don't really want to rush into a project. In fact, I would encourage you to talk to your friends or family or someone else that may be in the construction field before you might want to build a gazebo or any type of thing out in your garden. It's always good to get information and take your time researching your project. And so, but yeah, this project here probably costs about $50 to $75 worth of material. I did, these are just sitting on some deck boards down there, and then actually on this side here I have these table legs supported on my deck boards there. And so, but you know, if you have wanted to build a table where there was no wood frame underneath it, you could sink these 2x4s, or you could use 4x4s in the corners, which also would be good to use, or you could double a 2x4 for supports. But you know, you would sink them in below the frost line, at least 24 inches maybe, and put some concrete around them in order to help support your table if it's a freestanding table out in your garden. And so, and then I have the other workstation or prep table over in the other section of our garden that we're going to head over to right now. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so we're over here at the other workstation, and you know, I've done a lot of videos in the past, and I've walked right by this workstation for the most part. So I just wanted to take some time to talk about how I constructed this outdoor workstation, and even encourage you to think about maybe building one yourself, because they're just really handy to have right alongside your garden. This is one here in particular is right alongside my 18-foot by 30-foot raised garden bed here. And so the top of this workstation here is 24 inches by 24 inches. And I used here a piece of Corian, 3/4 inches thick, that I I left over from a construction job. I did a kitchen remodeling job years back, and I've been in the contracting business for 40 years. And actually, I've been doing gardening for 25 years, and so it's nice to be able to share some of this information with my viewers. I always tell people, I've been in contracting for 40 years and gardening for 25 years, and so I have all this knowledge and information bottled up. And it's nice to be able to share it with the viewers. So YouTube has just really been a nice vehicle to share this information with friends and family and viewers. So anyhow, so the top here is 24 by 24, and the height on this particular station is 31 inches. And so what I did for the pedestal for this is it's 2 2x4s. They're 3.5 by 1.5 inches, and then I doubled them. So you have basically 3 by 3.5 inches. You could just use a 4x4 post. For some reason, I probably didn't have one around at the time, so I just doubled up on some 2x4s, and I sunk the post in some concrete. You use a post hole digger, and then just remove the dirt. Then you'd sink the post in. I would say at least 24 inches would be good, so it's in there nice and secure. You could buy a 50 or 60 pound bag of cement from one of your home centers and just mix it in your wheelbarrow and put it in the hole there. And so I also, below the workstation here, or prep table, I built a wooden platform, and that's 34 inches by 40 inches. And I did that because if you're out here with the hose in the garden in the summer season, you're washing a lot of your fruits or vegetables off, and the ground below it gets kind of soggy and wet. So I built this wooden platform out using treated lumber. That way it'll last much longer for you. And the treated lumber today doesn't have the arsenic in it like it did 10 years ago, so it's a good material to use for outdoor garden projects. I also then added this 2x4 to alongside this prep table here, so that I can hang my hose from it. And so that really makes it nice and advantageous to have right next to your workstation. And then I just simply added an 1.5 by 1.5 trim board on the end, and I actually added some 2x4s underneath it going perpendicular with the deck boards, and just screwed them down, just kind of like a floating deck, rather than just use pieces of rock around it or something, or stone. The wooden, it's basically like a wooden platform deck that keeps the mud down and gives you a nice place to stand out here. And so anyhow, I hope this has been helpful for you. It always is fun sharing tips and ideas with everybody, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. And so until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.